I joined the organisation a little over 2 years ago, and at that stage the organisation had gone through a merger just prior. So there was actually two companies, Villa Maria and Catholic Homes, and they merged together. So there was a massive mismatch between technology, and effectively the IT side of things doubled. So we had double staff, double the technology, trying to get that together, multiple domains, multiple telephony systems, multiple everything. From a strategic point of view, what we did is we turned around and we said, right, we're going to focus on consolidation and stabilisation for the next 2 years. We went through a whole auditing process, which took a fair bit of time. One side of that which came out of all that auditing was our faxing side. We found out we had a lot of faxes. We had a massive printer fleet and we had multiple vendors supplying those printers. A lot of these technologies were older and the security side of things was just minimal or non-existent. The RFP process was quite in depth. We went out to 4 different vendors. Ricoh was one of them. So for us it was all about the after sales service, the support, and the possibility for expansion and that foundation I was talking about as well. Ricoh also turned around and as part of their solution they offered an eFax solution, and that piqued my interest quite a bit. That eFax solution, basically when we looked into it, was going to tick all the boxes. It was going to give us security. The eFax solution that Ricoh put forward was actually through a company called BNS. The process actually going through to get the solution embedded and put in was, for lack of a better word, sweet. It was fantastic. Lawrence at BNS Group, he came down, he basically spent the time with us, went through absolutely everything. And look, as an IT professional who's been in the business for over 20 years, it was really refreshing to actually see that level of interest, support. If Lawrence had questions or any of his team had questions, they were on the phone, they'd follow up with an email. Everything was clean, clear and concise. And the beauty of that is that when we put the solution in, it was seamless. From an overall experience, working with the guys at BNS and Convergence, it was nothing but positive. That doesn't mean you won't have problems, but I guess what it means is trust in what they know and what they do. They've been doing it a long time. They are experts at it, and they're the sort of guys that actually take pride in what they're doing. One of the key things was that they became part of the team. So they actually worked with my technical guys, they worked with myself, they worked with Ricoh, and without actually putting labels on it so much, they essentially project managed the whole thing to make sure that the solution was in. So it's their reputation that's at stake, and they really know that and they own that. As soon as you meet the guys, go through those technical meetings, it's pretty easy to say, guys, you're running with it, this is fantastic. They kept Ricoh on the ball, they kept my guys on the ball, and we got a solution that's fantastic. One of the big issues that we've got, not just myself with Villa Maria Catholic Homes, but also out in IT in general, is the whole move towards NBN, the closing down of copper, ISDN services and regular PSTNs. Everyone in IT at some stage is going to have to face those problems, and I know now that going through with the eFax solution from BNS, it's covered off those issues from a fax point of view, which is fantastic. So I'm now in a position where I don't have to think about NBN anymore from the faxing point of view, and I can actually get rid of those old copper lines that were sitting there that had a fax machine physically plugged in. A little side of there as well, which was a bit of a bonus, a bit of a win, the actual fax machines themselves nowadays, when you buy something from Ricoh or from Fuji or whoever it may be, to actually get faxing enabled in those devices, you actually pay extra money for the fax cards. So we've saved extra dollars there as well, which is great. Further to saving dollars on the actual fax cards themselves, the actual cost of the landlines are now gone. We've basically got a consolidated list of faxes. We can point those anywhere, we've got that flexibility. And we're actually now tracking, or able to track, not the faxes themselves, but get some statistics and reporting out of what we're doing from a fax perspective. So we can highlight those sites within our organisation that are doing a lot of faxing, and we can push resources there if we need to for the faxing solution. And I have it on good authority from Lawrence himself that they actually do check our solution pretty much every day, and I believe that they would do that. Probably the biggest cost for us and the biggest return on investment is the fact that the solution's only costing us about $300 to $350 a month now. Previously we were spending around 12 to 15 grand annually. We're now spending around about 3 to 3.5. So significant savings, and couldn't be happier.